problem here with me on physics. It's under moment. Like I normally do it, let me quickly go through the question. A uniform meter roll of mass, 100 gram, balanced horizontally on a pivot at its 45 centimeter mark when loads of 20 gram, 30 gram, and 50 gram were hung on it as shown in the diagram below. So on the particular question, the diagram is already given to us, so it's quite easy. You just have to analyze the diagram and get whatsoever you were asked to look for. So the now said use this information to show that y is equals to 5/3 open brackets 1 plus x. That means we are trying to prove from the diagram. You need to prove that y is equals to 5/3 open bracket 1 plus x. Let me quickly go through the diagram. If you look at the diagram, I'm going to use principle of moment, which states that the anti-clockwise moment is equal to the clockwise moment. Let me resolve it based on the anti-clockwise moment. The anti-clockwise moment is starting from 0 centimeter, and the clockwise moment is from 100 centimeter. So the points, the concentration point is on the pivot. So when I resolve it from that particular point on the pivot, that's the anti-clockwise moment, you'll see that I'll move from that pivot down to the pivot. The same thing on clockwise moment. The concentration point is on the pivot, right? Which I'll move from that pivot and still end up in that pivot. Okay, so let me quickly write the mathematical expression for principle of moment, which is force times distance is equals to force times distance, which shows that the anti-clockwise moment is equal to the clockwise moment. Okay, let me resolve it based on the anti-clockwise moment. That's anti-clockwise. Okay, is equals to, so let me resolve it based on anti-clockwise moment. Now I'm resolving it based on anti-clockwise moment. I'm using the diagram. So on my anti-clockwise moment, I have two mass resting on the meter roll. So the first mass is on 10 centimeter from 0, and the second mass is 30 gram from the pivot. Okay, so resolving it now, I'll have my F1 times my distance plus my F2 times my distance. Okay, remember I'm resolving it based on anti-clockwise moment. So my F1, so my F1 now will be looking at the diagram, my F1 is 20 times my distance there is if you look at it vividly, you see that from 0 to the pivot is 45 centimeter mark, right? And the 20 gram is on 10 centimeter from 0. So 45 minus 10, I'll have my 35. So I'll now have to do my 20, my 20 times 35 plus. Okay, coming to the second one, if you look at it now, the 30 is from the pivot and the distance given there is is y. So my 30 times the distance here is y, is y, that's times y. Okay, that's times y. Okay, so let's proceed. So I'm done with my anti-clockwise moment. What will I now get? 20 times 35, I have my 700 plus 30 what? Y. Okay, so this is my anti-clockwise moment. Okay, let me resolve it based on clockwise moment. Okay, so my clockwise moment, my clockwise is equals to, okay, looking at the diagram again, look at my clockwise. I have my W, okay, so my W is from the pivot. You see that the W is there, which is the weight of the meter rule, which is given in the question 100 gram. Okay, and the 50 gram, the distance is not given, which is the distance from the 50 gram to the weight is X. Okay, and from the weight to the pivot is what? Is 5. Okay, so look at what I'm saying. What will I do? I'll have that my F3 times my D plus, because I have two mass there, times my what? F4 times what? D. Okay, resolving the first force, which is my W, and my W is giving us what? 100 gram. So, and you see that the W is from the pivot, which is, and watch, from the pivot is 45 centimeter mark, and from 0 to my W is 50. So 50 minus 45, I'll have 5. So what will I do now? I'll have my what? My 100 times 5 plus, okay, come to my 50 gram mass. My 50 gram mass, see that from there I have my what? The distance given there is X. So X plus the what? The 5, which is what? 50, which is 50, open brackets, I'll open brackets, X plus 5. I'll close it. So what will I get? I have 100 times 5. I have my 500 plus 50 times X. I have my 50X plus 50 times 5. I'll have my what? 500. I have my 250. Okay, so 500 plus 250, I have my 750 plus what? 50 what? X. So I'm done with my what? Clockwise and anti-clockwise. So come back to my mathematical expression. So my anti-clockwise is what? 700 plus 30y is equals to 750 plus 50x. 50 what? X. Okay, so I'll now collect like terms. Okay, so I'll move my 700 to 750. So I have my 30y is equals to 750 minus 700 plus 50x. What will I get? 30y is equals to 750 minus 700. I have 50 plus what? 50x. Okay, remember I'm looking for what? Y. So I'll divide both sides by coefficient of what? Y. What will I have? My Y. Where is my Y? My Y is equals to 50 plus 50x divide divide by what? 30. So in doing that, I'll know that my y is equals to, okay, if you check 50 plus 50x, 50 is common. So when I open my bracket, I have 50, open bracket, 50 divided by 50, I have my 1 plus 50 divided by 50x, I have my x. Okay, close my bracket, divide by what? 30. So 0 will cancel 0. Okay, so I have my y is equals to 5, open bracket, 1 plus x, 1 plus x, 1 plus x, close my bracket, divide by what? 3. So I'm done with this particular problem. Say show